Right, go on then.
That's genius.
So yeah.
For what?
You go to the doctors and you go with throat hurting a bit.
Right.
And what they did ages ago.
Ages ago. What year was this approximately?
We are going back quite a bit with this one.
Oh, okay. Go on.
And the doctor would say...
did history. Imagine years ago. Go on.
And the doctor would say, right, keep your mouth open and you need to look at your tonsils. And the jaw would ache a bit, because they weren't as quick back then, because they didn't have the technology and stuff, and they'd have to, like, stare at it and study it and stuff. And, like, they get an achy jaw, right?
Keeping their mouth open.
Yeah, like, you get, you know, when you eat a Mars bar or whatever, it's So, they'd sat there, and they used to always close their mouth, and it used to annoy the doctor. Right?
Oh.
So what they did, they used to get a toad,
right,
and put it in the mouth.
Rubbish.
Okay, keep talking. Keep talking.
And that way they couldn't close the mouth, because either they'd squash it,
right,
or apparently you're not allowed to lick a toad's back.
So the doctor would have them for breaking the law?
No, but it's poisonous, right, a toad's back. You should never lick a toad's back.
Or put it in your mouth, really.
Oh, just stop for a second.
Wait. What?
Can I just ask one question?
Go on, yeah,
just ask one question.
I've got a few, but go on.
Sure. My initial thought is, it sounds like a brilliant bit of sort of medical knowledge there. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
My only thought is, how does the doctor see past the toad?
Yeah.
At your tonsils?
What's he actually looking at with the mouth open? Surely the toad is in the way.
Hopping around in the way?
It didn't say.
Sorry, and my first question is, was this on the internet?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Carl, that is bollocks. That is... I mean...
Well, alright then. Let's turn this round. Where does the saying, you got a frog in your throat come from?
Probably because you sound a bit croaky. Probably that. Probably because you sound a little bit like a frog when you've got a sore throat.
Carl, did you not question it just for a moment when you read it? Just for a second, didn't you think, that seems an odd approach? Firstly, why a frog, of all the different species?
Because it's poisonous, A toad.
So it's a toad as well?
Yeah, well, that it worked. I'm committed. Worked.
No, my point is it's frog in the throat.
I was going to change it to, have you heard the news Toad Day? But I went with the frog.
Oh God!
Right, so
that's rubbish. So that's rubbish. Next, can I have
Let's play a tune, let's come up with the
God.
last one. Can I just say... No, just play it.
Yeah?
Yo, Carl.
I have to thank my mate Dave, who sent me an incredible 4-disc compilation. That was one of the tunes on there.
It looks professional, it's amazing.
It's incredible,
The
yeah.
effort
Oh,
is
he's gone to too much
commendable.
effort. Ben Queller, it's a track called In Other Words from his album Sha Sha.
Open wide. Oh dear, that's interesting. What is it, Doctor? You've actually got a frog in your throat. I didn't get there. I put it in there. That's the most ludicrous story I've ever heard, Carl. Why don't you think when you read these things?
I think there's always going to be a bit of truth in all of these. I mean, that fella called up, didn't he, and said, I'm not sure about the, putting a frog in your throat if you got, problems with your tonsils or whatever. But he said, years ago, if someone had toothache, they'd get hold of a frog and strap it to the face.
Yeah, sure.
So, maybe, down the line, maybe they did. Maybe
a horse and emperor as well, but I mean... it doesn't... Go on.
Dick Anderson's been back in touch.
Excellent.
I think so. He's obviously...
We've turned him round. He loves it now.
He's been tuning in.
He loves it now.
He says, Ricky, thanks for a really forgettable 2 hours of radio. I think I'll spend the time next week counting my feet. That's from Richard Anderson. So, we've turned him round.
Do you know where the phrase counting my feet comes from? Well, in the olden days, right, and I'm talking ages ago, when you really loved something, you used to, as a sign of respect, like, say, a radio show, you'd count your feet. And that's where that comes from, Carl.
Well, what about the frog thing with a poisonous back?
It's rubbish.
That's true. No, the toads have the secretions in there.
Why?
But they didn't put it in people's mouths.
No. So, well, I'll tell you why. When a badger or a heron tastes the toad, it's horrible. Ugh. The toad might die, but it's for the good of the species, because then think how many toads, looking like that, a heron could eat in its lifetime. So the fact that one toad sacrificed all those other toads in that heron's manner will be safe.
Why? I mean, we've talked about animals a lot on the show, right?
Yeah.
And when God made a toad...
Sure. Right, okay, well, I'm going to stop you there. Straight away.
Don't. Just let him carry on.
Right.
Okay.
Like, there's annoying things out there, you know, jellyfish is a big problem with me. I don't understand what they do in the sea and stuff.
Right.
Right, but we'll leave them.
God's
right,
a problem for me, but go on.
We won't talk about jellyfish.
No.
With the toad, right, if it's to protect itself,
Yeah.
right, now
No, it's not to
say...
protect itself, it's to protect its species.
Yeah, but that, surely, right, if the toad had a choice, if God said, right, what I'm going to do for you here, you can have something like a lobster's got claws, big claws to have a fight, or I can give you something that if someone's having a go at you, you've got to try and persuade them to lick you back as a defence.
Yeah.
What use is, right,
Oh, Godson.
Well, I'll tell you why.
What is God
The
up
fact
to?
that there are still toads around is a testament to that defence working. That's all I'm going to say, okay? If the toad had died out, you'd have a point. But they're still around. It works, alright?
And don't start slagging God off. He's got a lot on his plate. Basically, I think he took on too much.
Particularly in 1 week.
Exactly, it was crazy.
Danger High Voltage, Electric 6, XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant. Carl's getting all flustered because I put an elastic band around his head. And we've had a definition of,
Well, hang on a
frog in
second,
the throat.
because there's an update to that, Rick.
Go on.
We did just have, one definition here of a frog in the throat. Apparently this has come from some internet site, so who knows how convincing it is, but it says frog in the throat, meaning suffering from temporary hoarseness, needing to clear the throat. Origin from the Old English frogger, meaning hoarseness. That's from Chris. Now that sounds slightly suspect to me.
Why?
But frogger? I mean, it seems odd that it would derive from that when it so clearly appears to be. You sound like a frog when you have a sore throat.
Yeah, but the word frog could come from Frogger, because it
Frogger.
sounds like it's
I think
croaking.
wasn't Frogger a game you could play on the
Yeah,
on the
FedEx
Spectrum?
Spectrum,
That's a great
yeah.
game. But
Yeah.
listen, hang on, there's an update to that because just to
Common
define,
frog, of course, Rana tempora, that's the Latin name.
well,
Your toad is Buffo Buffo.
you may be trying to show off, but I think you're about to embarrass yourself as well
on.
because you've been slagging off young Carl.
Yeah.
It says here another email. It doesn't tell us who it's from. Although it's hard to believe now, at one time medieval physicians believed that the secretions of a frog could cure a cough if they were coated on the throat of the patient. That in itself
Yeah.
sounds repulsive, but what makes the idea even worse is the application of the secretions. Instead of painting the treatment on, something which may also have seemed rational, a live frog was placed into the mouth of the sufferer, where it remained until the physician decided that the treatment was complete.
Right.
Apparently Shakespeare's son-in-law, that's a question mark, I don't know what that means. Anyway, it's no wonder that today a froggy or croaky attempt at speech is said to be a frog in your throat. So, you can see that what's happened there is Carl's misread, or been slightly misinformed about a medieval practice. In a sense, you're both winners, just for taking part. What's your final one, Carl?
Right, the final story is, the police are causing a bit of a stir.
I can't wait.
It's about this fella, I think it's in England somewhere.
Yeah.
Don't know when it happened, but,
Literally ages ago, or?
basically, well, I think it's when they were trying to crack down on, like, drunken people walking about in the street.
Oh, yeah.
And they found this fella.
Saturday. It's Saturday, that one.
And, found this fella, and, all the local people were saying, oh, look at him wandering around, he's drunk and what have you. That's not right, get the police in. He got arrested and that, and they got him in the court. And, the judge was there, and he says, so, you know, what's all this? What's going on? What are you doing wandering about when you've had a drink? You know the rules. You shouldn't be doing that. You had a glazed expression on your face. Blah, blah, blah. What do you have to say for yourself? He only had a glass eye.
So
that
we have
was-
2 glass eyes.
I had one. But that was, they were about to sort of lock him up.
Was he a
What,
bit pissed
'cause
up as well?
Well, he was pretty livid.
But was he also drunk with a glass eye?
No, that's the
right.
weird thing. He wasn't even, he hadn't even had a drink.
So they just thought, because he had a weird stare.
Because his eyes were all glazed.
Yeah. Where'd you get this from? Why are you telling me this? Yeah, but why are you telling me this? I mean, thank you, because it's, you know, killed a couple of minutes, but why is this educating me? What are you telling me here?
Because there's a bit of a thing there, a bit of a fable, that don't always judge a book by its cover. Yeah? So, the guy, he hadn't even had a drink. He'd probably just been shopping,
Yeah.
walking down the street, and everyone's, like, getting involved. Like, what's he doing? He shouldn't...
Hang on, I don't understand. He's walking down the street, happens to have a glass eye. He was doing nothing else to suggest he was drunk. You don't pick people up just because their eye looks like that.
But even if it happened, why are you telling me? With no particular detail. I know this, but then we're gonna get
It's not
people...
enough information.
I know, yeah.
No, there's a bit of a lesson there, educating Ricky. Just, you know, just watch what you say. Don't always jump to conclusions.
The only education I can take from that is that if I ever do become a policeman, I shouldn't just arrest people because they look a bit drunk. I should just tap their eye with a pen and goes. Oh, okay, on you go. On you go, yeah.
Guys, can I just stop you there? I'm just going to email Richard Anderson and tell him I agree.
Right, listen, we're running out of time now.
Where did the phrase frog in the throat come from?
We've got
it here. It's been told.
Well, there's three.
Can we play a tune and come back with that? Have we got anything lined up?
Yeah, we've got the song with the story in it.
Come on, Carl, let's do something. Quick, play a record.
Song with a story in it.
Never
this
mind
week.
that. Play a record.
Right, it's Kinks. It's a song with a good story in it. You got to listen to the words.
Carl, what was that? That was your little song with a story.
That's another little feature that we do every Saturday.
So make sure you tune in.
It's a song that's got a good story in it. There's a lot of music about these
days. What's that story about then? What's that story about?
I don't know what they're going on about. Whereas that classic from the Kinks called Lola.
Yeah, what's it about?
I'd listened to it for the first time properly this morning.
Yeah.
And what I've worked out from it is, there's a fella who goes out for a normal Saturday night out. He's in Soho.
Yeah.
He's having a Coca-Cola or whatever, and he sees this woman. He thinks, oh, she's all right.
Yeah.
Won't mind a bit of that. So he wanders over, and he sort of gets talking to her. He looks at her. She's got a great figure, nice face, and all that.
Lovely knob.
And she speaks, and he goes, oh God. Got a bit of a bloke's voice.
Yeah.
Not a bit of a voice like a bloke. But he thought, you know, that's her only down point.
Sure.
So he dances around with her, and I think he sits on his knee, I think he said.
Yeah.
Anyway, it turns out it's a fella.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
a sobering lesson.
Yeah.
What do you take from that?
Look away, sort of, if you think you might be talking to a bloke, just look at his sort of Adam's apple. And he'll probably have a hairier arse than a woman.
Yeah, I think you've gone too far then, though. I think you're already getting too close.
It's a bit late to pull out.
No pun intended.
There was a pun intended.
Oh, was it? All right, was it?
Yes.
All right. Okay, we don't be disgusting then. Right. Okay. Right. The results of
we ain't got a winner for the first time.
Yes, we have.
We've done this feature for.
We've got loads of winners.
No, we haven't. We've done this feature for 3 weeks. This is the first time I've managed to sort of.
What? Well, let's go through them then.
What have they got wrong?
The first one.
The first one.
What was the first one?
Well, hang on. Let's do them in reverse order first. So what's the last one?
The last one. The clue was that bloke does sport on the telly, and he's got a little kid.
What's that?
That's Destiny's Child. Des, who does ITV Sport, has got a Chinese child, right? No, that's fine. They got that.
Destiny's Child. What's the middle one?
Well, the middle one. Right.
Child.
The second one was he doesn't like women. Yeah, he's got a couple of kids. That's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Right. That was PD. That was Puff Daddy.
That is offensive. Go on.
But it's not Puff Daddy. It's Puff Daddy, and he's not even called that anymore. He's called P Diddy.
Well.
Okay, fair enough.
But they got that one.
Yeah.
And if I'm being tight, these lot are as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tight means something in Manchester. Go on.
Right. And the first one that they're having problems with, I don't think them birds should be allowed in this area.
Got it. Boyzone.
It's not Boyzone.
What's the clue again?
I don't think them birds should be allowed in this area.
That is perfect. A Boyzone. No birds.
No women.
No women, yeah, birds, right? A Boyzone. Sorry, Carl. If that isn't the answer, their clue is better than yours. That is brilliant. What was yours? Boyzone, it works perfectly.
What's your answer then?
Bangles.
I have no idea what that means.
Like seagulls. So you don't want them in this area, so you're banning them. Bangles.
Oh! Well, give it to Boyzone, because Boyzone's better. There is birds in this area, it's a Boyzone.
I think we should have a rollover. Carl beat them. Carl beat them. You have to use his logic, surely.
But theirs works. You can't do what am I thinking. No, that's not what I'm thinking. It works perfectly. I think you've got to give it to the ones that got the Boyzone.
Well, how about, right, because they didn't actually get into my head. And
well, heaven forbid.
How about we just keep back the David Attenborough, and they can have, I'll chuck in the Hellraiser, right?
Okay.
And Blondie album and the Madness one.
Yeah, okay, pick a winner at random.
Pick a winner, Steve.
I'm going to give it to Paul Sloman, who got those answers, and he also says, P.S. Carl, you're a moron. So, I'm giving that to Paul, and good luck to him.
Right, well,
He's got a crazy night tonight. If we can rush these over to him, he's got a cracking Saturday night.
well, if I'm a moron, I might get your address wrong when I send them to you.
Coming right back at you, Paul.
Yes. John, play your song.
Is this
Carl's annoyed because they didn't get band goals.
A song from song for the ladies. I think we seem to have missed this a lot of weeks, but this is. I've been wanting to play this.
It's not
for
like
ages.
us to forget things and that.
This is a band Frente who kind of came and went and no one was particularly interested, but they did this lovely acoustic version of the New Order tune Bizarre Love Triangle, and this just shows you how incredible the melodies and the words and everything are.
Brilliant,
New Order, just play this.
Good night.
Songs for the ladies. Is this the week?
Do you reckon Richard Anderson will be back next week?
Yeah, Richard Anderson will not miss this show.
Excellent.
Every time I think of you, I get a shot right.
Coldplay, The Scientist. Have you seen the video of that?
Great, it's just brilliant.
I think I might have worked out. What is, he's walking backwards, it's all filmed backwards, but he's singing forward. Now, the only way I can work out they've done it, without CGI in it and cheating with the lips, is that he had to learn it backwards and did it sort of like bit by bit. Did he do that?
He was on Zoe's show like about a week ago or something, and
so
he
he
actually sang it backwards.
So he learned phrases and they filmed that. But he didn't learn the whole song, did he? They must have, he couldn't possibly have learned the whole song. He must have like stopped it and...
Don't know.
It's a great video though. They always do a good video.
No, it's very good indeed.
So it was, yeah, The Scientist. On XFM, wonderful one. I'm Rick Gervais, with me Steve Merchant and Carl Pilkington.
I had a bit of good news this morning.
Go on.
I was on the tube coming down, and I don't want to sound arrogant, I don't want to sound pushy, but I was at Green Park, and I'm fairly certain, Rick, it's not 100% corroborated, I'm fairly certain that a woman pinched my arse. So what do you think of that? Yes.
There's a lot of pickpockets around Green Park, so be careful.
No, my wallet was still there.
Really?
But even if it wasn't, you know, that would have been money well spent. But but the wallet was still there, so what do you think of them apples? Eh?
So what did she just pinch off?
I can't confirm it at this stage, exactly what happened, but it certainly felt like a pinch. I looked round, there was a woman behind me.
Right.
She was fairly old, I think she's probably in her mid-30s.
Right.
Kind of reddish hair.
Right.
I don't know if she's listening.
Right.
But, she knows where I am. And, so I don't know how to proceed, really, Rick. I don't know if it's worth putting up some posters around the Green Park area.
Well, what you
just to try and corroborate it.
Contact with British Rail and go back over their CCTV
CCTV cameras, yeah.
And then they could probably zoom in and, you know, sort of identifying sort of birthmarks, or she might have been holding some
Then I could hire a private eye. Yeah. Again, money well spent.
Well, so there you go.
You know, I'm just saying, I'm just saying maybe maybe things are looking up.
Things
are getting towards Christmas.
The worm has turned.
I mean, you know, it's a little, sexy story to get the show going.
It is
But
pretty
what do you make of that then, Carl?
What do you think of that,
You're
Carl?
quite damning. What's your answer?
Well, I mean, you're quite a tall fella.
Sure.
So, she must have really wanted to sort of reach up and have a pinch. Do you know
Well, you think
she was a dwarf?
She did it with her teeth?
He didn't say she was a dwarf.
No, but Steve's taller than, you know, his arse.
Yeah, but his arse isn't 6'9", is it? His arse is about 3 foot off the floor.
4 foot?
What?
4 foot off the floor?
No, I don't think so. About 3. She'd have to be a midget to have to reach up to pinch Steve's arse. He is very tall, but
I don't know what your point is there, Carl. You're just trying to, you're just, I think maybe just a little bit jealous. Just a little bit of jealousy.
Well, do you know what happened to me on the way in?
Go on.
A homeless person called me a dickhead.
How did he know? Do you know him? Is that one?
He's like the local big issue fella.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he knows me, he sees me walking up and down the street.
Oh, that's how he knew you.
Right. So, so normally I have a bit of a chat with him in that. And I walk past him. And, you know, I can be a little bit cheeky with him, because I've been cheeky with him in the past, with stuff.
You pinched his arse.
No, just, you know, saying stuff like, God, you're always there, haven't you got home to go to, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
No,
just breaking the ice, go on.
He knows, and he'd laughed at that, right, last time, so I thought I can be a bit cheeky, right? So he goes, do you want a big issue? I said, no. He said, come on, I've got loads of them, right? So I sort of said, oh, when I was a kid, and I used to do a free paper around the free papers one, I said, just put them in the bin and go home. Right? And he went, yeah, but how am I going to get any money doing that, you dickhead?
You see, I can see his point. He is homeless and having to sell newspapers to get 50p or a quid or whatever.
Yeah, and sometimes I treat him, right? And today I didn't have any money. I had a takeaway last night, and I normally give them £1, and I felt bad not being able to do that because I didn't have any money on me last night.
Right.
I couldn't look him in the eye.
Did you explain this to the homeless person, the traumas of the takeaway without the tip? Did you explain